If you want news and rumors that appeal, welcome to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel.
If you want news and rumors that appeal, welcome to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel. I'm your host, the Innkeeper, and this is our live call and talk show all about the Wheel of Time. And we're back. I get to be here on a Wednesday morning. It's been a while since I've been able to do one of these. Today worked out. So glad to be back, and apparently some stuff has been dropped. I honestly have not taken much time to watch or engage with what's been dropped. I was just preparing because we were going to cover anything, and stuff dropped. So I told my guests, I was like, hey, let's do this. Let's get going and let's talk about this because I eventually have to get back to work. So I don't know if all of you out there are out of work or done with work for the day or checking in for an early lunch, maybe. Either way, to cover this with me, welcome my two guests to the Dusty Wheel. Amber and Rita, how are you both doing?
Hello.
You ready? You ready for this thing? Okay.
Great.
I'm excited.
Let's go look at what dropped. Honestly, again, I have not looked. I haven't gone over. I'm going to depend on all of you out there. I saw that something on Twitter dropped. It looks like a new mini teaser. There's about 30 seconds. Let's listen to it. Let's watch it a couple times, and then let's talk about it. Right? So here we go, everybody. Enjoy.
Are they ready?
They'll have to be, won't they?
We didn't defeat the Dark One. We set his strongest lieutenant free.
All will bow.
Okay, we got to watch it a couple times. That's just how this works.
Are they ready?
Yeah.
They'll have to be, won't they?
We didn't defeat the Dark One. We set his strongest lieutenant free.
I can't wait to talk about that.
All will bow.
Okay, one more time.
Are they ready?
They'll have to be, won't they?
We didn't defeat the Dark One. We set his strongest lieutenant free.
All will bow.
Okay. So there's some stuff to unpack there.
Yeah.
Let's
Yes.
let's do that. 1 second. Let me go make a little quick. We'll watch this. I'm going to go make a change to my screen real quick because I noticed have you both on screen. It's a little tweak there. So let me play this one more time. Yeah, I'm sure you won't mind watching this.
No.
Here you go.
Nope.
Are they ready?
They'll have to be, won't they?
We didn't defeat the Dark One. We set his strongest lieutenant free.
All will bow.
There we go. Okay. So let's talk about this. Amber, what was the first thing you noticed that stuck out to you?
That Liandrin Nynaeve situation is tantalizing.
Yeah, I mean, the first thing. Yeah. So I in season 1, I wanted this moment that we are familiar with, and this is the thing that hit me immediately. Right, was season 1 the moment with Swan. In the books, I thought it was going to happen with Swan, but with them, it looks like there's kind of like something going on there, right? So yeah, I don't know. That's what I was like, wait, them having some kind of, battle of some sort. Like I was like, is this a real thing? What is it? So yeah, what was your thought on it?
Yeah.
I mean, that could go two ways, right? Liandrin, she's a bit of a pot stirrer, but on one side, it could be something totally nefarious. And what's the spoiler situation here?
Oh yeah, so this is a good question for anyone asking about spoilers. I would say we need to be able to kind of talk the books. So I would say just expect we're going to go at least halfway through the series, like book 6, book 7. If you need to go beyond that, let's talk about it. For those in chat, it's going to be full book series. If you're going to be talking about this in chat because there's just too many things to address. In chat itself, just don't watch chat. Yeah, hopefully, if you're listening to us and know that we're probably going to spoil about halfway through the books. Is that enough space for you to talk about what you want to talk about? Okay, go for it.
Yeah. So it could be Liandrin being totally nefarious. And we know that in season 1, she was also kind of trying to, like, quote unquote, recruit Nynaeve in a way, like warm up to her a little bit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it clearly looks like this is bad blood between the two of them. I'm trying to think of what other options are out there besides that, because that seems like the most obvious.
Yeah, you look at this moment, see Nynaeve kind of standing here.
She doesn't look like she's putting up her defenses. So either like there was this false sense of security or Liandrin just caught her totally off guard.
Yeah. And then, yeah, you see her.
Retaliation.
Yeah, maybe that's a good question, is like, where are they at? You can kind of see the door right there. This is one of those, like, we need a bit more higher resolution of what's happening here.
Yeah. And she's in her little White Tower outfit. So I'm assuming this is within the White Tower. This is the little apron that Egwene is wearing in that image where she's in the kitchen.
Yeah, and she's just standing there with her arms kind of to her side.
Yeah.
What do you think, Rita? What's happening here?
Yeah, I think my interpretation of this is that, so we all know Nynaeve as like a block. So basically she cannot channel if she's not angry. Yes. So maybe Liandrin is not like attacking her just for the sake of it, but like attacking her just for her to submit to the pain and to the anger and be like, oh, you want to fight? Let's fight, something like that. Because I feel like Liandrin doesn't want to get on her bad side because she's gonna take the girls to, that little fun trap.
Yeah, I'm seeing Amyrlin Sedai say, I think this is a training session as well, trying to break the block. Liandrin is making her mad to get her to channel. I think this is
Yeah.
working on her block. Okay, so maybe first poll. The first one was about 215 of you vote on this. What will drop for What Wednesday this week? Well, if you voted for I guess if you voted on this poll afterwards, you saw this because Mini Teaser certainly seems to be running away. I didn't end this one. Okay, so what's happening with Nynaeve and Liandrin? You know, breaking her block. We'll say something more nefarious. Other.
Other.
There's always people that like, give me. It doesn't have to be one of those two. It can be something else.
Do you know what it reminds me of a little bit in New Spring when Elida is teaching Moraine how to channel and essentially just hitting her with weaves and kind of like, this is how you do it. This is how you learn.
Yeah.
I think it works both ways, right? I mean, as you're seeing in this spot here. And by the way, if anyone in chat sees, if you get higher resolution, I know Lauren and others are going to be working to get, a higher resolution version of this. If something drops out there, we can see something better, or you get some screenshots and you want to DM me those screenshots on Twitter. That's an easy way for me to kind of drop things in that we might have missed. So yeah, I'm assuming we're going to, by the way, that there's that kind of screen up in the upper left. I'm assuming we'll have some confirmation about where this is. But like you were saying, this does look like she's in kind of an outfit that you would expect in the White Tower, at least from the apron we've seen before. I don't think, have we seen Nynaeve in an apron like this? I can't remember. I think we've seen Egwene. Did we see Nynaeve? And then, yeah, you definitely see Liandrin here. Yeah, it just struck me this kind of this strike back here to Liandrin and getting thrown. Do you like this? Do you like this, Amber? Do you like this this moment? I guess you're seeing here.
Yeah, I mean, I love Nynaeve, and this is really reminding me of. I feel like it's the Great Hunt when they're on the boat, and Swan Sanche.
Yeah.
Uses weaves on Nynaeve and Nynaeve counters.
Yeah, I'm a little bit glad that like her channeling back here. Normally when Nynaeve channels, it's always like extremely like just like something, right? Like she's either healing like 700 people, or she's doing something else. And this one obviously channeled, but it seems like the building's still standing.
Yeah.
Liandrin certainly. Oh, hold on. What do we? Okay, so I don't know. I'm expecting something to happen here, and not like, I don't know, like as she hits the wall, and then you see kind of some waves come through the screen here. You see what I'm talking about? Like,
is she being held in place? Maybe.
Maybe see how she almost goes up. See how her body kind of.
Yeah.
She hits, and then her body.
It kind of looks like it, yeah.
Her body goes up a block. Not that the force, I guess, could have. And then you see her arms stretched, although maybe she's just trying to. It's hard to tell, like the way they've cut this.
Maybe it's just like the force of impact. Like she just bounces.
But it does look like a wave of, like you see one wave happen right there, and then another wave, and then another wave.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
Wait, can I just say something? I just had a crazy idea.
Okay, go for it.
Like, do you think that maybe this was like her last straw? Like Liandrin's being like, I'm trying so hard to be like not go fully to like the dark side, but now I'm like being confronted by a much stronger Aes Sedai. And I just feel so helpless, and she absolutely overpowers me, and she's not even a full Aes Sedai yet. Is that a crazy theory?
No, I think the idea of Liandrin, sorry, go ahead, Amber. You're gonna say something.
Well, how many times is it repeated? Like Nynaeve, you're just so incredibly powerful. It's kind of this big theme going throughout the stories, and even in season 1. this has to be a little bit scary for Liandrin, whatever the circumstances are, whether it's she's teaching her to channel or it's something more related to like a capture, but either way, she's got to be scared just a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Like Nynaeve is a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely.
That's right there.
Yeah,
by the way,
look at
I
her.
think
She's ready.
Lauren already dropped. Okay, so by the way, for those of you out there, Lauren from Unraveling the Pattern dropped a link to the stills. So if I can't go through 1,000 of these things while I'm I'm going to try, but if you see some interesting stills, like DM me those specific ones. I'm going to try to go through them as we're talking. But okay, so anything more to be said here? What has a chat been saying as far as breaking her block? 154 of you said breaking her block, 77%, but 15% said something more nefarious. Yeah, I guess. And this is a good point. Stubble just brought this up. Let's post this comment. Let me end this poll. Well, I'll keep the poll going. It does seem like it's still we're still getting some comments through there. Stubble said, and thank you very much. Again, any of the super chats today will be like whatever we take from that Google gives us at the end will go to support the WGA and SAG-AFTRA strikes that are ongoing right now. Again, take an opportunity if you have it. For the things that we're watching here, all the creative aspects of this, the writing, everything we're seeing, and the actors themselves. We want in the end creators to receive their fair due from the studios that they work with. So we definitely support their efforts here. And so again, Stubble, thank you very much for throwing that in. He said, alternative Liandrin try compulsion on Nynaeve. Do you think that that's a possibility, Rita? Do you see this as an attempt for compulsion?
Maybe it is, but she tells Nynaeve, like, I'm gonna try to do this to you, Nynaeve. Stop me or I'll control you. And this is a win-win situation for Liandrin, like, in my opinion, because if she manages to do it, then she basically broke through, like, Nynaeve, and she controls her.
Okay.
And it's a win-win situation because, like, she said it, so it doesn't seem suspicious, but perhaps her intentions aren't as pure as Nynaeve would think. Like, Nynaeve would just think that Liandrin is trying to test her, but Liandrin is not really trying to test her. That's just an excuse. That's my take on it.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Amber, maybe speak to that, because immediately I was like, maybe not compulsion, but I like the idea that Nynaeve was not ready for this. You know what I mean? Like, Liandrin went hard, and like you're saying, but maybe kind of like a subconscious form of compulsion, right? She's obviously she's always been trying to get in with Nynaeve, and now her kind of doing this, like, that was something, like Amber brought this up. This was almost this particular idea. If this is the training concept here, or whatever this conflict is, similar. That's what it hit me immediately was the swan moment.
Doesn't
right?
she make a flame? Doesn't she have like a sword with the one power and says something about, I don't need a weapon, like I can channel. Like, you don't need weapons if you're a channeler. Yeah. Right? Is that the same moment?
Well, and doesn't
Nynaeve
like
Nynaeve...
what does she do? Do you remember? No, do you remember what she does to Swan in that one? It's in the boat, right?
Yeah, she sees what Swan does, recreates it, throws it back at her, and holds her in the air momentarily.
Because that's what I remember, holding in the air. So yeah, that's why this like they get thrown up against the wall. Again, immediately I was like, okay, like. But they've pushed it over to Liandrin as far as her trying to get in with Nynaeve. Okay, so I think I'm going to end this poll here. About 200 of you voted on this. What's happening with Nynaeve and Liandrin? Breaking her block, something more nefarious. 72% of you said breaking her block. Definitely and this is almost what's bothering me a little bit, which is, and it's a weird thing to say, it's bothering me. I love that I'm seeing some kind of key moments from The Great Hunt, The Dragon Reborn in these teasers. But they keep on saying, like, be ready, gird your loins. And I'm like, what am I gonna just loathe? Like, what's the other side of this? Like,
Exactly.
because I actually like this.
Exactly.
I like, again, my brain immediately went to this concept of what this was. You know, I was like, oh, this feels a lot like X. Okay, interesting application of it. You know, let's like tell me more kind of thing. So
To
I've actually
build on
talked
that-
about
oh,
that. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Amber. Okay. So basically, I talked about that on Twitter, what you said, Matt, because Sarah said that like fans have to gird their loins big time for season 2, but so far all I'm seeing is like things that happened, but with different characters and some added things that I feel, I haven't seen them, of course, but that I feel are good. Like, it's gonna make this story better in some way. Like, I don't know, but I don't know.
But that's why they always
I haven't
say,
seen it.
what do they say? Trailers lie, teasers lie. I don't know, but
Yeah.
this makes me wonder.
I've heard that. Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
so
it would be a change if they're swapping out this moment with Swan in the books to Liandrin. That's kind of a big change.
that is.
But I was
yeah.
just thinking to build upon this moment. In one of the teasers way back when, don't we see Nynaeve training with warders with weapons?
Yeah. Mhm.
And if this is something similar to the moment with her and Swan, where Swan's saying like, look, you don't need weapons, you are a weapon. So this could be something like continuing on from that.
Okay, yeah. I like how you're connecting
Mhm.
the training scene and then Liandrin, but taking that whole concept of like basically like almost like when Swan says to Rand, like, you're not a spoke, you're the water, whatever. Like in the same way, like you don't need a weapon, you are a weapon. I love that idea, like the kind of pairing of that with Liandrin with Nynaeve, you know, where we get Swan and Rand in that way. So yeah, that's really good. I like that a lot. So, Astronomy, I thought I turned on live captions. If you do closed captioning, I thought I turned it on for this video. It might be too late for me to have already initiated, but I thought that I had done that. If I didn't, we'll make sure that I'll do that next time. So there should be some live captioning. I could have sworn I turned it on, but it's possible I did not. So, but yes, there is actually captioning on the video itself. So there's a lot of stuff that just come in. Like for example, the three winking. People have brought that out because right at the beginning of this, right, it says, where is it at? I think I like already clicked off of. I need to go find this. Has anyone else found a version of this anywhere else out there?
Marisu in chat said Liandrin could be disgusted Nynaeve is hanging with warders because red. I like that.
Well,
Yeah, it sounds like captions are grayed out, by the way.
yeah, it would be on
so-
point.
Yeah, sorry about that live. Yeah, I'll check the again the captions, and I don't think I can turn it on once it's already started, but if someone else knows differently, I can take a look and see if I can. Let's show this video again, which thankfully does have captions, and because I want to bring up a point about the 3 winks. Here we go.
Are they ready?
They'll have to be, won't they?
We didn't defeat the Dark One. We set his strongest lieutenant free.
So there's that.
They'll have to be, won't they?
Yeah,
We didn't-
watch the first 3 episodes. So that's a big thing that they've already talked about, which is we're gonna get the 3 episodes. That was that kind of probably nod from the Tweeter of Chaos. That's the guess, at least, that there's obviously some reference to the 3 being the 3 episodes. How do you feel about that, Amber? That we're gonna see 3 episodes on the premiere?
It's exciting, but I'm also torn because I would love for it to last as long as possible.
Yeah. Right. 3 is that how they did last? Is that how they did season 1? Did we get 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did season 1 like that.
So for those of you out there, we're going to be doing a premiere guide on, which is similar to Trailer Gun. It just has to do with the premiere. And now having 3 episodes, I can't imagine we won't have plenty of things to talk about for 12 hours on that Friday. So
Yeah.
that's going to be, that's going to be big. Like you said, wanting it to last longer than it did. Obviously, they think that worked well for them last time. There must be obviously some reason we're getting 3 versus 2 versus just 1. So how do you feel about that? I'm going to ask everybody in chat who happens to be with us. Do you like that we'll be getting 3 episodes for the premiere? Yes, no, prefer 2. No, prefer 1. No, prefer all at once. There we go. There's your poll. Okay, so there's a lot going on with this. Obviously, we tackled the Nynaeve. I saw some stuff come in. I saw an image at least. Wild Gardenia, thank you very much for sending this one in. Is this one part of this? I can't remember if this image is part of... Well, we'll go look. Do we see this image in this premiere? In this teaser? Or was this from a previous one?
I think it's from this teaser.
It's from this one, right? Yeah, I'm assuming it is, right?
I'm so nervous about that.
This does not look good for my boy Uno. I am so scared.
Oh God. Oh God. I'm so scared for him.
Well, you see him. Well, it's interesting because you see him like on the ground. Here's the yellow. I know we all talked about it, is the person on the ground in the trailer with the yellow.
Yeah.
Do you think this is pre or post that moment? In other words, do you think they're coming up and he's been knocked out and they're lifting him up, or do you think they knock him out in some way? Because we see another moment. Oh, although this could be, he could have been knocked out and then he gets shown. Do you think this is the moment that he will be killed, or do you think he's going to survive this moment?
I know what I want.
Okay. I want him to survive.
I want to happen. Yeah.
But I know that a few weeks ago, footage dropped. It was from the trailer, I think, that we see a very quick shot of Uno on the ground, and I panicked. I think I tweeted about it, but he's just laying on the ground. There's no blood, so I feel like he's just knocked unconscious.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of.
I hope so.
Yeah. I feel like this would be the absolute wrong decision to take away a character this beloved.
He's very beloved.
Yeah.
They better not kill Uno. I'm late.
Well,
leave Uno alone.
He's very beloved. I don't know.
Knocked out only.
Yeah.
I don't see any blood, so I'm like, please.
Yeah. No blood. He's fine.
Ocean Ogre said, "Can you compare his placement to those of the Seanchan surrounding him?" That's on the other image. So let's go back through and let's watch this again. And I keep on clicking off of it, so it's really funny. Hold on a second. I'm looking at us. I'm like, no, that's the wrong that's the wrong stream on Twitter. I'm not looking for that one.
It's very hot in Portugal. I'm melting right now.
Okay, let's go see the Seanchan.
Are they ready?
Part of this. Hold on a second. Okay, so the question is interesting on this shot. Let's look at this one. Obviously, it's the Seanchan. This does look like we've seen another shot where they've kind of lined him up. So this is because we see Perrin. If you remember, Perrin kind of reacts in a similar fashion, and they're tying it definitely to Uno being taken. But,
oh yeah.
I mean, it's hard. I don't know. They're certainly setting us up to believe, right?
Look.
They're setting us up to believe that is not going to go well. That's for sure. This is there you go. Village mattress. Kneel or you'll be knelt. That's a good. That's a good thing to bring up about the Seanchan.
I'm still shocked that Surround. Sorry, we keep speaking at the same time.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Do we think that this is the moment where she's saying all will bow and we are making these people like swear the Seanchan oaths?
Yeah, so that's the question is would
Yeah,
Uno,
yeah.
are they going to have Uno do that or not?
Do we think that Uno would?
Yeah, that's
No.
what's your answer? By the way,
No.
do you like that we'll be getting 3 episodes to premiere? 60% of the 200 or so that have voted so far said yes. No, prefer 2 at about 21%. No, prefer 1, 17%. No, prefer all at once. So, I mean, at least everyone that's watching here right now that voted, a large majority are saying that they do prefer, or a larger majority are saying that they do prefer 3 episodes to premiere. Okay. Enough. Maybe that's enough to kind of not, like you got enough of the story, but it's not the entire story. Maybe that's why they see it. It's
Yeah.
like 1 episode would be really hard, right? Just
Yeah.
So yeah, and good question for my mods out there. You might have just jumped in. Chat spoilers are full book. So anyone that's watching that has joined us, be careful in chat. If you have not finished the series, you could run into something. For these mini teasers where we're covering all sorts of different parts of the story, it's really hard for people to not like get really excited and talk about why they think something is really unique. We're going to try to not spoil much here. If we're trying to stick to like the middle of the books as we're talking. So if you just want to listen to the conversation, watch the screen, don't look at live chat closely or watch it at all if you're afraid of spoilers. It's really hard to try to every 5 minutes remind everybody like you can't go past book 6 and then somebody new comes in. As we get closer to the season, we'll try to do we did this before, some non-spoiler kind of initial reactions. We might try to do some of that. We might do a non-spoiler discussion separate from a spoiler discussion. We haven't totally decided yet, but so yeah, understand that chat's going to be hard. This look, by the way, from Perrin. And that look from Loyal, they're definitely, they want us. They want us.
Uh-oh.
Are they ready? Are they ready?
It's definitely, okay. So,
I'm torn.
does
torn.
this, yeah.
I'm scared.
Well, didn't Rafe say at the end of season 1 when we saw a bunch of people getting stabbed, he did an interview and he was like, don't worry, people are going to die and it's going to hurt you.
He did something in that. Oh, and that like, and it very much, it was one of those like, okay, I mean, obviously he can't kill certain characters. We don't have to describe like which of them to get to specific kind of endings. So, okay, so we must be talking about characters where they didn't die in the books. Okay, that's kind of annoying. Who is this going to be? But yes, if this is, and we all kind of wondered if Loyal was at the end of season 1, or like, they're going to do that. Maybe Uno is the new one. But I will say this: let's please. It's too late, but no more fake out deaths. Like, it's not that Jordan doesn't.
He wants Uno to die.
It's not that Jordan doesn't have some of that. It's not that doesn't exist in the books. It's just we got so much of it in season 1. Him laying on the ground is fine, but just we don't need to go to the end of the season where like you have to talk about it afterwards. Like, no, they didn't die. Like that's don't do that.
But like,
okay.
didn't Rafe already like kill a character that's alive until like Memory of Life, I think?
Who's what? Well, I don't want to like. I don't want to spoil the books that far. So let's not talk about that. But yeah, like in chat, I guess you can.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so is there anything else other than we have the Liandrin and Nynaeve, and we do get some more Seanchan? This is a. We did kind of wonder, right? Like we're like that looks like weaves of potentially fire going into the roof. I wonder if he sets the inn he's on. I guess it's pretty clear now.
Yeah.
We don't need to ask that question.
He looks so scared.
We don't need to ask.
This would be a nice way for Moraine to track Rand if she's, hearing about inns burning down and stuff like that.
That whole building is burning. Like, what the?
Yeah, this is.
There's a Tavir and loose.
This is exactly kind of. We wondered. And we also wondered, like, because we see his eyes kind of flash open at one point when he's laying down. And there was that wonder of, like, is he waking up from something? And is it, like, immediately, is he channeling in his dreams? And he wakes up and he's actually channeling and he looks up and the inn's on fire. You know what I mean? I'm just like...
Yeah, that would be clever.
Like this... Yeah. We know that Rand doesn't handle, you know, these things kind of well. The things that happen because of the one power and his inability to control it, or so yeah, that's do you think that we're going to have, do you think people are going to die because of this? Do you think, how deep do you think they're going to go into this? Like, he burns down an inn and everyone's like, whoa, that was crazy. Or do you think that he's actually going to be responsible for you know, that this is accidental, but that there's bigger consequences? Do you think they're going to use that here?
I mean, they could. This would be a lot to weigh on Rand, and this could also put forth in motion him seeking out a mentor to help him with channeling. Like, if there's bodies, if people have died because of this is going to guilt him maybe into finding someone who can help him.
Yeah, this is it's one of those, like, Rand doesn't need, I guess, throughout the entire story, I guess we don't have to go too far, but this is not like an uncommon feeling. But I do wonder if they're gonna put it on him here. Rita, do you think they're gonna kind of make this a very impactful moment for him, or do you think this is gonna be like just kind of like a danger warning, or do you think this is going to have like real consequences that he will be affected by?
Well, it depends on like if this is a dream or not. If this is real, then I think him burning a place, him burning like a whole building down, it's going to be problematic.
Yeah. You think,
because
okay, so yeah. You think this could be a dream?
He definitely doesn't seem in control, yeah.
Right, like he could be sitting there in a dream. He's just
this
sitting
there.
This
could be a dream, yeah. This could be like Ishamael just being like, hey, you have no control. Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to ask, about 200 of you voted on this. Does Uno die in season 2?
Like that.
By the way, 68% still. No matter how many times they're teasing this, fans will not believe it's happening. So
stay alive.
Okay, so basically, what's happening with Rand and what's happening with Rand here? We can just say, you know, real world burns down, or no one injured. How about that? Real world injury and death. We'll say dream. No one injured. And then I guess for the dream side, we could say dream Rand is injured. In other words, it might be interesting, right? This could be kind of a come out of the dream and he's looking at his hands and maybe his palms are burned. You know what I mean? Or they could play with that right here. What's happening with Rand here? Yeah. So let's ask, right? Because that could be a way for them to try to, because we have that moment with, we have a number of those dream moments with Ishamael that happen. So, by the way, I've been told, I was sent, okay, so Collider just dropped some more stuff. So we have to go there now. Thank you very much to Kara and Kevin. Appreciate that.
There's open Twitter real quick.
There's a tweet here. Wait, so yeah, it looks like this is referencing. Anyways, let's watch this. I don't know what this is, but it's from Collider's tweet. So here we go.
Oh.
And now I'm like, is it gonna play? Is my computer?
Oh.
Hold on a second. Like, is it like blipping? Let me refresh this really quick. That's all I don't need is like the stream to go down. Okay. Here we go. It's playing now. I don't know like why my computer's acting up. This looks like season 1.
The Trollocs. They're here.
Oh, okay.
The Dark One has an army called Trollocs. They're monsters who do his bidding, and they're programmed killing machines.
They're quite complicated, interesting creatures. They're more than just monsters. There is a human piece.
They were effectively genetically engineered war tools, men spliced with animals to create the ultimate soldier.
Some look more like wild boars, some look like birds. We
A lot of this looks like just
prosthetics with VFX, and they look unlike anything I've seen on TV.
We're working with the stunt department to figure out all the safety aspects, because they've all got massive horns on that, if knocked, will come off so that nobody is injured, but will snap back on. Some of them are on stilts because we want them to be colossally tall.
The Trollocs are nightmare fuel. As we reached season 2, the dark is not an obvious evil. It has many potent charms to offer people.
Okay, the laughing on that is always like, I didn't see anything like particularly new in this. Did you? This feels
just
like
season 1 stuff, yeah, and like
this
a couple of behind the scenes.
Is this shot new? I can't tell if this is.
Is this the
I just love how
fairy
he's holding
Yeah, it almost looks like
Yeah.
the fairy set. I mean, if anyone in chat
It's
saw
new
anything,
Matt, guys. It's new Matt. We have new Matt in season 3. It's him.
yeah, exactly right. This was like one of the shots I saw. I don't remember seeing, but like you're saying, I did wonder, Amber, if that's just the fairy set. So from season 1, I didn't.
Maybe it's a
see
deleted
anything.
scene.
Yeah, right. Like I didn't. I mean, I feel like we've heard about the Trollocs before.
I do
I think
like
what
though
Rosamund said at the end is like new. What she said about season 2 at the end.
Yeah. I do like too that they are talking about what the background of the Trolloc is and how they were created, because it really gives you a sense that they know their stuff, right? Like this, I feel like it's kind of obscure in a way. Not every person on set, every director is probably going to know, like, oh yeah, there's genetic manipulation with the one power. So that's fun to hear.
Right, they're like giving a little bit of backstory. Yeah, there's.
Yeah.
I saw Dana Liu said that that there was also like one kind of like a fat Trolloc showed up. And I'm trying to see. Yeah, I didn't see anything like completely new there, but like you're saying, kind of a description or talking about it. Patrick said, in the SFX magazine interview, Yosha says he channels in his sleep and then something awful happens and there's guilt. So
I think that,
okay, so does that answer, like people should
box.
stop answering the question? Okay, almost 200 we voted on this one. What's happening with Rand here? Real world, no one injured. Real world, injury and death. Dream, no one injured. Dream. Now, I think it could certainly be, right, he channels in his sleep. So it probably is like what I'm hearing there is maybe it's a mixed, right?
Yeah.
It's a mixed version of that, which is maybe he's seeing this. He doesn't realize it's really happening. And then he comes out of it and it does. So by the way,
it's like Moraine linked.
by the way, I like this comment.
Like,
Laugh out loud, Matt's not impressed. Yeah, this is going to happen at times. Yeah, I don't know. Was I supposed to be impressed by that Trolloc thing? I don't know. It was just it seemed like nothing. But yeah, go ahead. What were you going to say, Rita?
Sorry for interrupting, but I think maybe, do you remember that shot in the trailer where Yosha is like covered in like blood and he's choking Moraine?
Yeah.
You think that maybe that's the dream? He freaks out, wakes up covered in weaves of fire, and burns the building.
And she shows up because maybe she's showing up because there's that scene where it seems like it's her walking out. What if she shows up? I don't know. Puts the fire out. I don't know. I don't know if she shows up.
She's got a bucket. She came prepared.
I've carried this buckle for 3 years. Finally, I can use it.
No, by the way, Kara, no problem. I was excited too. What do you mean in the end? I'm in that mode of like, give me new stuff, and I didn't see as many new things there. Totally, we're gonna watch that and we're gonna dissect it, and I'm sure there was something we missed out of that. So no worries at all. I was excited too. So yeah, that's I like the pairing of all that. Like we get a Shamael kind of messing with him in his dreams. He's starting to channel, or he thinks he is channeling. He notices that in his dream. He wakes up out of his dream. There's a fire of some sort. And then Moraine is part of that, and maybe Rand attacks Moraine in that moment because somebody mentioned, like you said, the suit. I don't know, that feels like all those pieces make sense. Amber, what do you like that kind of adaptation, if you will, of what we know to be in the books, kind of this journey towards him channeling, not meaning to channel, causing injury or death, or having guilt, if you will, as it pertains to his inability or ability to control what he can do, and Ishamael messing with him and his inability to trust other people and who they are, who he thinks they are. Like, those are all the kind of the pieces of that are coming.
Yeah.
Are there other pieces here that you think they're trying to pull in that I'm not remembering?
Well, while we're talking about dreams and people invading dreams, we're talking about Moraine too. Doesn't Lanfear have a lot to do with, is it Lanfear? I'm trying to think, but is there a way that maybe she could be inserting, like, a little bug in his ear, like the Aes Sedai are out to get you. They're going to try and make you their puppet.
Right.
So is it possible that she could be somehow manipulating him in his dreams to make him think Moraine is out to get him?
I like it. Okay. Is Ishamael manipulating Rand in this area? These scenes themselves are just in the season?
In general, but just talking about it in this shot with the burning of the inn, I'm like, oh, okay. Like, we have to get Lanfear showing up somewhere. We have to get her doing her Lanfear things. So like, I'm just wondering how that story is going to start off, if we're going, as the viewers, get any suspicion to where like something is happening before she shows up, where we're like, I don't trust her. Or is it going to be like, oh, she seems nice, and there's kind of a twist at the end? It just depends on how they're building this up. So I don't know. Yeah,
you're right. It does. It largely depends on what pieces they're kind of, because Lanfear is I just asked that in, by the way, the actual chat itself. And please do keep reporting new things that are dropping, and we'll throw them up and we'll review them. And I saw a comment by Riz Swank saying the Innkeeper just realized that this clip has given Kevin nearly endless material. Yes,
my God,
good luck, everyone.
Oh,
good luck
God.
on that. So yeah, this is isn't there, because we have the Foregate, right, in the Great Hunt. We have that fire. Right. So are they also kind of weaving that aspect into this? Like, maybe we're not going to get how that happens, but Rand is involved with a fire that in Cairhien that Moraine actually gets involved with, because now we have Moraine being included in this piece, where we didn't have her in the books that way. And obviously it's Cairhien, so
doesn't the fire in Cairhien serve as like a meeting point? Like, it happens, and at that point aren't kind of a big group reunited then? I
thought it was, and am I misremembering this? I thought it related,
I could be misremembering it.
I thought it related to the Illuminators, didn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Am I misremembering that? Like, there's that, like, but there also, maybe there is there a second? Now I'm like, yeah, because with the inn, right? Anyways, yeah, like now I have to go back and reread. I think it's probably helpful. Honestly, it's probably really good preparation for all of us to go back and reread that whole Cairhien section in the Great Hunt, to better see where they might be kind of, putting these things together, as far as giving us scenes that approximate the ideas in a singular scene. So, yeah, that's right. So Joe said, there's the inn is set on fire by Fane and the Illuminator fire as well.
Oh,
okay,
we were both right.
yeah. So there's the both. It was the two. I was like, I swear it was like two, but there's a fire. There's a fire, at least one.
Thanks, Joe.
Patrick just said other highlights from the SFX feature. This is the SFX magazine where I think we saw, that was the reference to the other big, that like there's going to be one of the biggest battles ever. That was like, it feels like overselling it, but this is season 2 picks up 5 months later. Moiraine and Lan likely spend time apart. She really pushes him away. Nynaeve is excelling, at the White Tower, while Egwene or Eggy has sort of become invisible. So, okay, so we're seeing Nynaeve excelling. Maybe that has to do with that scene that we saw with Liandrin. Patrick, thank you for bringing the... Anything else, Patrick? Anything else with the magazine?
Please.
We're all just sitting here waiting for you to drop some more from that issue in the magazine. So like, watch for those. This is what's the poll currently show here? 155 of you so far voted in the first couple minutes. Is Ashamael manipulating Rand to believe that Moiraine is out to get him related to these shots? Yes, 24%. No, it's Lanfear, 45%. Lanfear and Ashamael, 19%. That's not happening, 13%. So a lot of support for the idea that this is a manipulation of Rand, but Lanfear, not Ashamael. Yeah. The reason why I brought up Ashamael was we see him obviously in dreams. We know that happens. And we see him, I thought, in a shot from the behind the scenes or in the sneak peek where he's outside of what looks like could be like the place where Rand is standing, also in that one shot in the doorway when Rand's shirtless. It seems like a similar scene. And then we also see him like disappear. Like we wondered if that was some form of traveling. So yeah, that's what I thought Ashamael, but not that it can't be both. We know Ashamael and Lanfear were working hand in hand for a lot of these kind of things when it came to Rand, for sure. So
Dana has something interesting in chat. Alt text says that Rand is sitting in a dark cabin, so I doubt it's the Foregate. That is interesting.
Okay, so yeah, let's
good
look
find.
At that. Yeah, I think Wild Gardenia had mentioned that one too.
That cabin is so mysterious to me because Min also appears to be in that cabin. At one of like the 30-second clip, I think Min was at the cabin too. Like I feel like everyone is there. Like
everyone has their own cabin.
Or Moiraine is at the cabin. Min is at the cabin. Shamael is apparently at the cabin.
It's quite the party.
Right? Okay, let's pause this video and let's go check out the alt text here. So, alt text is medium close-up of a woman in an ornate red and orange outer garment over an intricately folded blue blouse. She sits in the center of an imposing throne. Insect-like golden armor on her shoulders and head. With a golden mask covering most of her face, she asks, "Are they ready?" We cut to Uno Nemesta, his blonde hair pulled back behind the headstrap of his eye patch, face and beard bloodied from battle, standing amongst a group of people. He's grabbed by the back of his shirt by an armored soldier. Quick cuts to a blood-stained Perrin and Loyal, who appears to have his hands bound, watching concerned. We cut back to a wider shot of Uno as he's forced down onto his knees by two soldiers. We then cut to a wide aerial shot of horses riding along a mountain ridge with the words "The Great Hunt is on" overlaid on the scene. We hear a man's voice say, "They'll have to be, won't they?" as we cut to him wearing a fancy gray collared shirt and tie. We then cut to a quick shot of a bald man wearing ornate golden and ivory armor that looks almost like an exoskeleton as he unsheaths his sword and takes an aggressive fighting stance. Then a wider shot as his surrounding guards in ornate blue and gold, bug-like armor take a similar stance with their spears. This quickly cuts to a heroic shot of Rand inside a walled city, his heron-marked blade on his back and a tan cloth wrapped around his shoulders and covering his head. We then cut to a shot looking at the sky from inside what appears to be an incredibly deep ravine, as the words "Watch the first 3 episodes" float over the scene. Cut to an aerial shot of a man standing in a dark place. The camera pushes towards him as we hear Moiraine say, "We didn't defeat the Dark One." Cut to an aerial shot of Tarvalon at night with the word September 1st atop it. We fade to black, then fade up to see Moiraine say, "We set his strongest lieutenant free." A quick shot of Lan looking concerned before cutting to Liandrin blasting Nynaeve with a burst of the One Power. We see Liandrin's look of determination, then an extreme close-up of Nynaeve closing her eyes in pain. We quickly cut to a medium shot of Nynaeve screaming in anger as she responds with a powerful explosion of the One Power that knocks Liandrin off her feet and onto the stone wall behind her. We then see Rand sitting in a dark cabin, watching fiery weaves of the One Power emanating from his hands and stretching upwards. We switch to an angle looking down at Rand, who looks up at the weaves, concern on his face. We then see the ceiling of the cabin engulfed in flames. A blonde woman with a golden collar around her neck and an upper chest and a golden gag over her mouth stands in what appears to be a tropical forest. She holds her hands together in front of her chest, then raises them above her head, channeling fiery weaves of the one power that spiral out from her hands. Egwene weaves a shield from the one power, blocking the blast of fire. We then get a close-up of Elaine as she channels weaves of fire. Quick cut to a shot behind the blonde channeler, 3 other women and 6 insected, helmeted soldiers as fireballs erupt in the grass just in front of the tree line. A quick cut to black. Then once again we see the woman in the insect-like head and shoulder armor and golden face mask sitting on her throne. The first 2 nails on both of her hands are frighteningly long. She speaks. All will bow. And then the logo for the Wheel of Time appears over black with the words New Season September 1st underneath, which is all replaced by Prime Video logo. So I wanted to read out the entire alt text because it sounds like we don't have and I apologize I didn't read this right at the beginning, that we didn't have the closed captioning showing. So it would have been helpful to have kind of also explained this for those who could not also see what was on the screen. So this cabin, sitting in a dark cabin, we are going to go to the Elaine scene here soon, everyone. We'll be talking about that. We haven't forgotten about that. But we go to the dark cabin. Rita, maybe to you first on this. Do you think dark cabin means not in the Foregate? Do you think that Foregate scenes and Kyrian are separate, that Rand is like in a cabin, when you say cabin, like off, let's say in the mountains somewhere by himself? Do you think that that's what's happening?
That's a tricky question, because when that shot of Lanfear like holding onto his chest,
yes,
they're
that's
in
exactly
like
where my head
the
went.
forest. They're in the forest, so perhaps Rand is at the cabin in the middle of nowhere, just living his not best life because he's not doing anything.
Rand's living his best life
without the best part in it.
With Lanfear off in a cabin in a mountain somewhere.
Yeah. So maybe that's that. But then again, didn't Celine or Lanfear said that she was a noble from Kyrian?
Yeah, I mean, that's what Celine mentions that. Yeah. And by the way, Bane and Chiad said Foregate could have cabins. That's true. So as we do, we're going to poll this with everyone. About 200 of you have voted. Is Ashamael manipulating Rand to believe that Moiraine is out to get him? Still, 46% of you picked it's Lanfear. So, okay. Yeah, is this cabin in the woods? We'll just say, is he in a cabin in the woods or is he in a cabin in the Foregate? Is Rand in a cabin? Here we go. Where's Rand? How about that? What did I miss? Sometimes I'm like trying to follow chat too. Hey, that was a funny comment. Where is Rand? In a cabin outside of the Foregate. In a cabin inside the Foregate. Like, we all understand what I mean by that, right? Like, somewhere else, not the Foregate.
Right.
In a cabin, not the Foregate. How about that? Not the Foregate. And then in a cabin in the Foregate. Okay. And then, Amber, what's your thought here? Do you think that this, well, it says in a cabin, but do you think it's still the Foregate and Kyrian?
It could be just the tweeter of chaos being a little bit tricky here and not saying in specifically just to not give it away. but I mean, a cabin to me feels like something totally different than an inn. And I'm trying to think, like, maybe he is with Lanfear. Maybe this is something like building on that scene where they're kind of having a little nuzzle on a, high altitude place. We don't know. Right. But I'm going to go ahead and say it's a cabin, not an inn.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to... This one's little cabining in the woods. Cabin on a boat. And by the way, this one's splitting everybody. About 100 of you have stuck around. You're still here voting on these. If you want to come vote on these, make sure you come over to YouTube. Actually, there's over 3 of you watching this. You guys are ridiculous for spending this time. Like, ridiculous in the way that I really appreciate, by the way. Just hanging here talking about this. I saw the video. People were mentioning that TOC dropped a video, but it looks like the same one from Collider. Can someone confirm that this is the same one that Collider dropped? Oh wait, hold on. I can't. It looks like the same one. Yeah, if you guys can read through or watch through that one and let us know if that's the same one that we just saw from the Collider that we posted earlier. I'm gonna look at some of the Tweeter of Chaos's tweets at the very least here. Let's see if there's anything else from replies. Yep, he called out Twitter of Time for that one. Tweeter of Chaos is just talking in different languages. That's fantastic.
I think he's speaking Brazilian.
Yeah, right.
He's just going for it.
I didn't see anything else there. It's the same one Brother Buddha said as far as the video. Yeah, call it out if it's not. Obviously, if I'm not focusing on a particular scene, I jumped on Twitter while we were just chatting here. This feels appropriate. Uno Bloody Nemesta is talking about this the garment that we were mentioning.
Yes.
Right. Kind of pointing out that the hawk on the circle on that garment is right there. This is the one we're seeing.
Dark Friend confirmed.
Right. And then pointing out that probably all of them have that same yellow, that same,
I think they all have the same. I don't think it's Uno in the cold open. At least.
Yeah. Oh. That would be
Agreed.
that would be that would be an change. That would be a significant change.
Can
almost
you
150
imagine
views.
how mad?
Does about 150 voted whereas Rand in a cabin, not in the foregate, in a cabin in the foregate. This is going to be a controversial until the cabin's the new Steve. Like, where's the cabin? Who's the cabin?
Who's the cabin?
Yeah, exactly. Brian,
What
good to
is
see
the
you.
cabin?
Brian, we'll see you soon. Got to bounce for work. Enjoy the rest of the stream. Yeah. Thank you very much, everyone, again, that are sticking around for this. Does anyone support the Dark Uno theory? Just don't. That would be.
No.
People would riot.
Okay, so this is a funny thing. Remember how it's like gird your loins, and we were like, this is so weird because we're seeing some scenes and some adaptations that really kind of hone in on some really key points of the story. And then if you did go ahead and make Uno dark, honestly, I don't know. That would be that might be the craziest. That would be crazier than having the dagger from Shadow Logoth apparently not have the effects it does. I know people are like, but it's going to be a steading and Loyal's going to go there and he's going to actually be healed and he's an Ogier, so it's different. Whatever. That would be like that would be ridiculous.
I have a crazy theory about the cold open.
Yeah.
I have like a crazy theory. Like that woman who speaks, are we to kill him? I was freaking out on Twitter a few days ago because of that, because we don't know who that is.
Right.
And anytime like I listen to it, for some reason it sounded like Swan. And I was like, wait a minute, which is like, it cannot be her. It cannot be her.
Let's be honest, that is the Great Hunt and the Dragon Reborn. Like, who's a Dark Friend? I mean, the Great Hunt literally begins, like, Boris walks around and he's like, there's like 100 people here at my little Dark Friend party with the Dark One. So that is what we all are kind of wondering after the Great Hunt begins, like, whoa, wait, who? And it could be anyone. So, Swan?
Yeah.
No,
I mean, I don't want it to be true, but
I can't tell if people are just trolling this poll right now. But does anyone support the Dark Uno theory? 14% of you? I don't believe it. I don't believe it. That would be insane. Not that it's impossible. That would be insane.
But I do think I know who it is. Like, I know. I think it's pretty obvious who it is if you think about it.
Yes. No. It obviously,
right?
and it's full spoilers in chat, and we're going up through at least book 5 or 6 as we're talking. So walk away right now if you don't want anything in the books ever spoiled. You're just not in chat. You're not listening. You didn't know there's any spoilers, but there's some book spoilers here up through like half the books. And yeah, that's got to be Ingtar, right? Like that wouldn't make any sense that it's not. Like
absolutely,
that's anyone but Ingtar. I can't remember what I said. It was during the last stream. I was like, if this is anything but this, you've made it. Yes. Oh, this might be controversial. I agree that this is not quite like Dark Uno, but I'll go to you first, Amber, on this. Do you agree with my assertion that it's insane to leave Ishamael alive after this season?
What did we say? How many seasons do we think that we're gonna get?
I thought I said around like seven or 8, right? So 7 or 8 seasons. Ishamael's our baddie at the end of 1. Ishamael's our baddie at the end of 2. Do you think there's room, like the books, to make Ishamael one of the baddies at the end of end of season 3 or within season 3?
Personally, I think you got to get rid of him. We have so many Forsaken to come, and I mean, he doesn't go away forever. Like, there's always possibility.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll stop there.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. But
I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me that you don't. I don't know. I saw on your face, and while we're not going to do any spoilers for the second half of the books, I saw on your face, Made in the Spear. Do you agree? Like, do you think it would be the wrong choice for them to leave Ishamael alive after this season?
I mean, there's gonna be like 7 Forsaken in the show. I'm not sure how many.
Yeah, they think they think total about 8. That's what they think. So
8. Okay, so I think like 8 villains. It's a lot of people,
right?
But at the same time, I kind of want to see them all doing a meeting. You know, a part of me wants that.
Sure,
I really want that because I love those scenes in the books. I just love that.
That's a great point. That's a really great point, because think of all of those personalities together.
Yeah. And I don't think they're gonna like kill him off that easily, because they're leading up to him being like a big part of the show, like a big villain. I don't think they're gonna get rid of him that quickly, to be honest.
They are giving us. You're right. They are setting him up. It's just, I would be.
Too many people.
I think it's a huge mistake too. Let me end this poll. 170 have voted on this. Does anyone support the Dark Uno theory? Apparently 13%.
I love your dedication. People who support it.
That's definitely. I get support in the sense of like that would be a loony theory, but I could see them do it. The idea, like you said, you brought up that Rafe mentioned he's going to kill some beloved characters. I don't know the exact quote, but it's something like that. And they've made changes, so it's not like impossible that they might see that as like a good change. But that would be crazy. It's crazy. So must Ishamael die in season 2? He must.
Like those deaths.
He must die, but I'm going to leave this question to all of you.
Like many people could die that don't die in the books. I think there are a few that are like coming up to my mind. I'm not sure if I can say them, but they're there.
Well, yeah, exactly. And I'm going to ask this question. I think it's a fair question to ask about halfway through the series, and let me totally think about that really quick. We want to have that conversation right now. We're going to full spoiler, but yes, we're not going to go. People are asking the question in chat, but again, I don't want to. I told people I would only go halfway through the series, and it's kind of yes and no. I'm not going to talk about that, but in chat, I think you're right. That is the question we should be asking. Are you both watching chat by chance at all?
I'm open.
I don't know how to do that.
Oh, if you the only thing you don't want to do is like make sure the video is muted. So don't worry about it going there because we'll get some reverb in the show.
Oh, I have to go on YouTube, right?
Yeah, you'd have to go on YouTube and you'd have to. And so it's more probably a hassle than not. But there's a topic being brought up that I'm sure you both know. You were about to bring it up, Rita, about why there's a possibility, but we won't discuss that right now. So
I'll see it later.
130 of you have voted so far. Must Ishamael. I'm gonna let that poll kind of roll for 5-10 minutes. I really want to get a feel for everyone that's here that wants to answer it.
I'm really curious about something, Matt, because I mean I know your favorite Forsaken, but
Asmodean. No.
But Okay, with her having her moment maybe this season, is there another Forsaken that you're especially excited to see? Like, who's on your number 2 list?
That's a good question.
Because I always feel like we always talk about the one.
Come on, man.
Who's my number 2 Forsaken? I really want to talk about that. I don't even like ask myself that question. There's not like a lot of
there
room
isn't
in
another
that
one
sphere,
for you.
right? Do I have another?
Come on.
You're saying like who would I think about next if Lanfear didn't exist?
Or just like would be the most compelling to come back into the show.
Wow, I don't really have like an instant answer here. Wow, you guys like multiple Forsaken, huh? That's cool.
Yeah.
It's not a Shamael, that's for sure.
Okay.
It's not Belal, because that guy is a waste of space. I have to say, if there was a grouping of them, sorry, this turned into like talk about. I know that people are like, get on with showing us this scene right here. We're going to talk about this scene shortly, okay? We're going to get there. I have to say, Moghedien does rise to that kind of interesting level. So I have to put Mogi up there. Daemon Dread, he's like, whatever. He just wants to be loose there.
He just screams a lot.
Ishamael is he's just like a sycophant for the Dark One. Like, Grendel, to me, is like a boring character. Semiraj and Moghedien probably, and maybe Agenor, just because he's a wild, he's like the mad scientist side. So that like those three kind of end up in that grouping of things. Samael, Ravine, like these people are just like a waste of space in my opinion.
Cannon fodder.
Semiraj. I don't know if you say that her name like this. Is Semiraj?
I say it however my brain like in the moment. Like I used to say like Karheen. So I mean like it's whatever. I say Semiraj, but I don't know if that's the right one.
Semiraj.
Apparently people on set have a problem pronouncing Kyrian as well. So
I'm sure. Like Riss, like I'm here for Matt's Forsaken ranking, except he's definitely wrong about Ishamael. I have to put Moghedien up there because Moghedien has is identified as someone who basically understands Teleron-Riyadh maybe better than Lanfear. I don't think that Moghedien is better in Teleron-Riyadh. I think she might know more, if that makes sense. Might know something that Lanfear doesn't, or has a capability. Doesn't mean that I think that Moghedien is better at using that, if that makes sense.
Sure.
So, but yeah. I think I gave my ranking there. It's not a full ranking. We'll do a show. Where I'll rank the Forsaken out there. Great question. Let me jump to this part. We haven't talked about this, and I saw some comment online about this side here. So let's go really slowly. By the way, if someone sees a version of this out there, where it's a better quality, like let me know. So we're seeing more of this.
Breaks my heart.
We're seeing more of this.
Looks so cool, like a triple helix weave.
It looks really cool,
yeah.
It does look like.
Looks like a braid.
In alt text. Okay, so you see them both. Hold on.
Wait, is
that dark? Is there three
Nynaeve?
of them?
That's Nynaeve, isn't it?
Hold on.
I think so.
Yeah. So can somebody send me this screenshot, please, out there? I need screenshots related to this. I will try to make this as we're talking, but if you can send me this one, it's just really hard for me to go through. Like, we need to talk about this, and this is we have to zoom into this kind of moment. Like, I did not notice this one. So I'm going to try to do the same thing I just asked you all to do. But yeah, speak to what you think you're seeing there while I try to grab the screenshot. Yeah, maybe go ahead, Rita. You were saying that you think that's Nynaeve.
That's definitely Nynaeve. Look at the size of the braid. Like, I don't know if I'm crazy, but can y'all see it? I feel like that's Nynaeve. Then maybe, but who's the person next to her?
Well, because we know Elaine is there. We've seen Elaine kind of.
Yeah, but doesn't it look like dark hair?
That's what I'm saying. Is it looks like, but we saw Elaine. We saw Elaine right next to her, so I don't know if it's just the way that the video is formatted, and that's why we need like a higher resolution version of it.
Yeah.
Like what I'm getting here, frame by frame, is not good. I'll try to take this shot here, and But yeah, send it to me on Twitter if anyone has that.
Elaine
Yeah, do you
could
think?
be
Do you
behind
think
the fire?
Right, is Elaine behind the fire? Yeah. Or Liandrin
Oh,
potentially. Although it looks like the
Ooh.
person's in white, so that's kind of. I'm seeing like people in chat bring this up. Sorry, this is that
I
moment
think
where.
Liandrin is gonna leave them before they attack. She's gonna be like goodbye, and or maybe she doesn't even like come out of the like Waygate.
she just
She
scuttles
just
back
leaves
into
them
the
there.
Waygate.
Yeah. Goodbye, just push him over. Like, who? Look over there. Where? Just pushes him over and runs the other way. Something like that.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
they didn't get far from the Waygate. I mean, they're right there. Right there.
Exactly. And
Yeah,
we
that's
have that like structure behind the
Oh.
soldiers.
Is this the same pyramid
'Cause
that
they're coming right out of the Waygate right there, right?
right? Is this the
Like-
same pyramid type structure that Suroth is on? Like
Oh,
waiting,
it's like where the
overseeing
shot,
it?
where the shot is
Yeah.
coming
Maybe
from.
she's there.
Okay, so
Like,
Maybe she's there.
yeah.
Okay, so I got that in. But anyone else that gets a better shot of this or has this out there, let me know. So they're definitely coming out of the Waygate right there. Like it's immediately. I thought the shot we saw before in the trailer was outside of the Waygate, or like off to the side of it.
Oh,
So
there we go.
Am I wrong in thinking that it seems like there's somebody else there, or is that just like the
Maybe
Is it a
it's
Seanchan
fire?
guard?
one? It looks like 2,
Oh!
3, 4. Like it seems like
Hmm.
that one's a hard. We need higher resolution for this one. This one's hard.
Yeah.
But yeah,
We
you
need like
Coloring.
one of Lauren's higher
Yeah.
resolution images.
yeah that
I don't
there's
like that's
definitely
very
seems like
confusing. It's very
there's-
blurry.
Okay, so maybe there might have been some Twitter. Let's see if someone just sent me something here. Oh, Jen did. Okay, thank you. This might be a better shot here. Let's see if this one gives us any more detail.
One of the bodies looks like the coloring for the Seanchan armor. But
Yeah,
with the
someone
fire,
said like,
it's hard to
is
tell.
it someone beside the horse?
Like, it's very confusing.
Oh,
Like,
by the way, I totally walked right into that one, Koala. I was like really into like, is there someone on a horse? So thank you. That was awesome. I literally started reading that before I realized that you were just trolling me. So I appreciate that. Yeah. So I mean, white dress, at least 2. Someone behind them. Is it Liandrin behind them? So is that Egwene, Nynaeve maybe, and Liandrin? Or is Elaine the one behind and red hair potentially?
it's very blurry.
It
It's
does seem like
really, really blurry.
yeah. Just
Wait.
me,
Like maybe I could see a little bit of like golden hair besides Nynaeve.
okay.
I don't
let's
know.
see. Okay.
It's very blurry.
Thank you, Nils. Thank you so much. This one's a higher one. If you could take other shots there. This one's not the exact shot. This is another shot there. Again, that one does
Definitely
look
golden
like,
hair.
That one looks. It's so hard to tell, but yeah, is that the one that Elaine's running away from them? So yeah, Min. Okay, yeah. Joe is saying maybe
Ooh,
is
yeah.
Min there instead? 2 people and a fiery middle finger. I just think that's something dark above Elaine's head. Yeah, that could be. That's what I was saying. It's hard to tell. We know Elaine and Egwene are right there. We have reason to believe others would be there. So that's why I think why we're really questioning. But I could see some soldiers being behind them, although if they're channeling towards them, the channeling looks like it's meant to scare them, per se, into stopping.
Yeah.
And I
find it very interesting. It looks like a braid going up to the sky.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, this one might be thank you very much, Wild Gardenia. Appreciate this one. This one seems like this is and this one it doesn't. Yeah, because I think that is just like a dark artifact kind of thing. That hair does look like that's probably Elaine and Egwene. right there, and maybe it's just the two of them. So maybe
But,
we don't have anyone else
I think
there.
Nynaeve is there.
And so maybe
Nynaeve
I'll
has
ask
to be
everyone.
there.
I'm going to ask everyone there in chat. So
I'm not sure
200 by the way,
Liandrin.
262 votes, and this one also is a controversial opinion, although more of you agree with me, so I'm going to go with that. 57% said Shamael must die in season 2. I agree, he must die in season 2. And for goodness sakes, get us a higher quality version of this trailer out there already.
Yeah.
Like not cool. Okay, so who comes out of the Waygate? We're going to say Liandrin. I don't know if I'll have enough. Egwene, Elaine, Nynaeve, and Min. We're going to use some... so we're going to give you some options here.
Has Min been in any photos or images or scenes with Egwene, Nynaeve, Elaine yet?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think she's with them.
So
Okay.
I guess I didn't, in this one I didn't take, I should have taken Liandrin out of one of them, but that seems, if they did not have Liandrin part of this, that would be kind of ridiculous. So I assumed that Liandrin was one of these. Liandrin, Egwene, Elaine, Nynaeve, and Min. Liandrin, Egwene, Elaine, Nynaeve. Liandrin, Egwene, Elaine, or there's more than those 5. Those are your options, everyone. I'll be interested to see how that, what do you think, Rita? Do you think we're going to get, like, what about, Matt? Like, we see shots of him there. And he's at the White Tower. Are they going to do something elaborate where Matt somehow gets there separately? Because it would feel really weird if, like, Rand's not going to make a stop over in Tarvalon and then go.
Yeah, exactly.
We know Matt gets there. We know Rand. Don't we know? Yeah, we know Rand obviously gets there. We don't know that Min is there. We don't know that Min is there. Rita, do you think Min is going to be part of the Falma storyline?
That's very tricky. Okay, now moving to Matt first. I feel like Matt is the whole storyline with him this season of locations. It's very confusing to me because we have seen 3 stills of him, and all of them are in different places, I think. And I don't know how he's gonna get out of the White Tower. I don't know how he's gonna go to Falm. I have no idea. Some people said that he might go after the girls in the Waygate. But
right, follow them.
How?
Yeah.
Maybe Varen helps.
I feel like they have to. I mean, Matt going through the Waygate could be. Is that because of all the things that happened where the actor left the show and Matt couldn't go through the Waygate? Are they going to have Matt go through a Waygate and follow them? He's going to be brave versus not courageous, and he's going to follow them and do what's right. So he's following behind. So maybe he hasn't come out of the Waygate at this point, but he does follow them.
I need that to happen.
Okay.
I need that to happen for my happiness.
You're like, this must be the case. Okay. So about 150 so far of you have voted on this. Who comes out of the Waygate? Interesting. Yeah. This question of Matt. I don't know. Do you, Amber, do you like the idea that they're going to give us a Matt enters the Waygate, Matt follows in the Waygate to kind of
building off of season 1.
Building off of season 1 of something that had to,
I'm going to do
something
it.
they were kind of forced into, if you will.
I don't mind how he gets there as long as he gets there. The thing that I'm really curious about though is he needs a travel companion. And I'm not saying this because it's how it is in the book, but I feel like if you're shooting a TV show, you can't just have one actor acting with himself. He needs interaction with someone.
Good point.
You need,
yeah.
So when she said Varen, I'm like, okay, that's interesting. That could be something to explore there. And we know that Tom isn't in season 2, so I feel like we really need to group someone with Matt, whether he goes through the Waygate or on a boat or whatever.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I think you're right that he has to be paired with someone. I mean, it doesn't, as far as I know, we're not getting Tom this season, right?
Right.
That Min is an option. Do you like the idea that Min and Matt get paired?
Okay, just thinking about that, they are both very sassy. So like that could be some interesting dialogue there.
Sure.
Yes. Yes.
I would like to see some. That would not bother me because I think you're right. We can't just have Matt. Matt
Like,
needs to. Matt
just
needs
the
his.
Matt show.
Look.
Yeah.
Think of all the foils that we get. I mean, later on, I guess we won't spoil that later on in the books. So, but all of the kind of connections when Matt is
And the
in
comedy.
scenes- yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So having
We
him.
need him to have like somebody else.
Oh, interesting. They're putting this up.
Yeah.
This is okay. I'm cool with this. I want Matt and Bail Damon, bringing, because we know Bail Damon's in the show. So
Perhaps
somehow,
that's how he gets there.
like Matt leaves, he kind of escapes Tarvalon because of Bail Damon, and he ends up in Falma because Bail takes him there, and then he's back. Kind of very typical Matt, like I'm gonna leave, like it happens in the Fires of Heaven. He's like, I'm out of here, and all of a sudden he runs into, he's like, and then he kills Coolidge, and then he, like later on he's like, oh yeah, that happened, kind of thing,
trying to leave, and the
so-
pattern won't let him go.
Yeah. I like that.
Typical
Let's ask everyone. Do you
Love it.
Let me end this poll. About almost 200 voted on this. Who comes out of the Waygate? 63% said Liandrin, Egwene, Elaine, Nynaeve is your choice, not including Min. I want to ask about this. Do you want Matt and Bail Damon to meet this season? We'll just say
That's such
to
an
meet.
iconic duo.
Yeah.
Or do you, and then said not
I love
want. Do you believe Matt and Bail Damon will meet this season? How about that? Yes or no? Okay. So I'm going to ask that question. I think that's a really good one. I'm seeing a lot of appreciation for that. Yes, Bail Damon and Matt, please laugh out Bail. That's gold. Has to take a boat. Yeah, I think Matt escaping Tarvalon.
It makes sense.
We don't get #luckbender as we refer to that. We don't get that kind of, but maybe we would. Maybe we can still see that without anyone else as Matt's foil. You can just see Matt kind of escape into the city, and maybe that's how he runs into Bail Damon, right? Maybe he basically wins something against Bail, and
For a ride?
offers it back for basically, yeah, he wins a ride, if you will.
Game,
like,
perhaps?
and maybe he's like, no, I can't take you because there's a thing out against you. And he's like, how about we gamble on that or whatever. You can take me back and get, maybe it's that. Maybe it's like if someone brings Matt back, they can, Bail will get some, whatever, reward or whatever. But he's like, you have to take me if I win this impossible thing to win. I don't know.
I think this is genius. Just
Is
gonna
that-
say it.
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. Like we're all like, okay, this would make sense. It would be an interesting connection of how to get Matt to Falma without getting Matt following through the Waygate. I'm okay with the Matt following through the Waygate side too, but I think it would be an interesting. I think that would be an interesting way to connect him.
Bail Damon, doesn't his ship get boarded and then he gets taken, right to Falma or right to Toman Head?
So have we exactly right? Have we dissected this enough? Is there something? Well, let me go back to. Is there ever dissecting these things enough? Right. That's the real question. I'm gonna let's go back to this. This one. We've seen the Egwene kind of what looks like probably some kind of shield, but this looks like Elaine channeling too. Is that what we read in the alt text? Do we read in the alt text that Elaine channels?
Yes, she's channeling. She's channeling. Yeah.
There's a mix of weaves here. We're getting like red and is that yellow? Maybe that's
goldish.
Spirit. Like a gold.
Something like that.
Gold and
yeah,
white,
I think that's
perhaps?
like
But then she runs, so maybe this is like immediately, and then because you definitely see that person turn, and run.
Yeah.
But I thought we saw different channeling. Maybe we didn't from the Seanchan. Certainly only one Damane there. I think we only see one Damane. Oh, we see. Was that a second one? That's a second one over there. So
I think that there's a second one.
But yeah,
there.
you're making an interesting point. Here's the platform right in front of us. These. I'm not sure I love the look of this platform up close. I don't like the tooth, like the teeth on it are kind of, and the blue. I mean, it's very, I'm gonna have to see it like when they actually bring the show. But you're right. I did not even focus on the platform side where, you know, yeah, is this Lady Suroth coming in? Is it Lady? Yeah,
Would this
definitely.
Okay. In the
Is that what it looks like? Does it have, when we go back and look at the palanquin, does it have these kind of like teeth looking on the corners?
I want to say yes. I don't
Can someone
know.
remind me out there? We
But
can go
why
look
is
up
she
the trailer.
there though?
Well, we know that doesn't. Who meets with Liandrin when they come out of the Waygate?
I think it.
Well, I don't remember.
Wasn't it?
I think it's
I have to
her.
go. I thought Suroth actually meets there.
Yeah.
Everybody in chat will correct us in 20 seconds or confirm that.
Yeah, everyone will be like, actually, no. Oh, okay.
Someone also said Seanchan speaking American accent is so cool, and I agree.
Yeah.
That's something that we
I
haven't
really
talked
wanted
about
to
yet.
speak about that because Suroth is speaking. She's speaking.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
yeah.
Let me play that again.
She's speaking.
Oh,
Is she also saying, are they ready? Like the girls coming out of the Waygate, are they ready to be?
Are they? Oh, okay, interesting. Like, I wonder if Liandrin goes out first and says, "Wait here, and I will come back and get you," or something to that effect.
She jogs. We're here. She jogs back to the Waygate.
Yeah, like I wonder.
I'm gonna go make sure it's safe.
Yeah, right.
stay
Kind of
here.
like you can imagine them inside, right? You can imagine them seeing, because isn't that they can kind of see out and see in, right? The way that they've handled this, and so you can imagine them, and Liandrin goes through and begins talking because they see people out there, and now they're concerned, and they come out, and then she's like, no, it's fine, and then we have that moment. So, yeah, so Suroth does meet with Liandrin. That's what I thought, and so it would make a lot of sense to have this moment for sure. Let me. 1 second, let me play this now.
Are they ready?
Are they? Yeah, it does.
Are they ready?
Okay, yeah.
Are they ready?
It's like weird because I can't even like really get that much of an accent, if that makes sense,
We
from
didn't
it.
defeat the Dark One.
But it doesn't sound like the accents we have
Set his strongest lieutenant
from the
free.
others.
All will bow.
Okay. That the accent doesn't like in my head. It doesn't sound. Is there an accent does that sound familiar to you? Like,
Well, it's definitely American English as
Yeah, it's
Sure.
American. I don't feel like
British.
it's British.
yeah,
Right.
You're right. Yeah, no, it does. What I'm saying is like growing up here, right? Like I have that. I don't know. Maybe all of you hear an accent that I have. Like I grew up in the Midwest, but my wife, she has much more Chicago suburb, like accent, and it comes out when she's not even thinking about it. I don't think it comes out as much. I don't know when you hear me if there's a specific part of the U.S. where you'd be like, that accent's from here. I don't like when I listen to that, I don't go, that's definitely an accent from a certain area. But this is, I'm seeing Max Silva say it's very mid-Atlantic, old school, posh American accent. I'm assuming you're talking about Suroth here.
Well,
That
I
makes
mean,
sense.
that would almost make sense though if they're doing. I mean, the Seanchan are so heavily divided by class structure, right? So they could incorporate different types of American accents into that class structure as well. So Suroth might not talk like one of her soldiers or something like that.
That's true.
But, like,
right.
Does she talk in the books, like directly to people? I don't remember that. Like, does she talk directly, or does she have like the voice who speaks for her?
Oh man, I have to go back and read.
Because the voice is there.
Great Hunt.
Yeah. The voice is there.
The voice is there. The
we
voice
have
is there.
situations. We have situations when Suroth is speaking. Oh, but you're saying, is that the voice we're hearing? Is that what you're saying in this actual scene? We have 205 of you voted. 205 of you voted on this. And do you believe that Matt and Bail Damon will meet this season? 80% do. So
80% are correct.
80% do.
Because I say so.
I love this pairing.
Stubble
so
said
much.
all will seems to be from one scene and Bow is from another scene. Oh, interesting.
Oh.
Stubble with the theory.
Should we
Okay,
go
let's
back?
We need to go back.
Yeah, trying to like
Should
play
we
with
go
the viewer
back?
a little bit.
Of course. Here we go.
Are they ready?
I think the Are They Ready is from that.
They'll have
Or
to be one day.
We didn't defeat the Dark One. We set his strongest lieutenant free.
All will bow.
Yeah.
I mean, I see what you're saying.
Agreed.
Like, they could definitely
Agreed.
mess with that. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's find out Stubble's theory here. By the way, we probably have time for one caller if you want to call in. The call line is open if you want to try to. Oh, it's in the way there. Let me.
I think I did notice something.
Yeah, 1313-825-5968. One, maybe two callers at the most. I'll probably have to go back to work in about 30 minutes. I know. There's still a lot to talk about it, so
Yeah.
we'll try to get this in. So I know. It's like work. You're like, I know, midday for me, and I have to like go back to some meetings. But this has been extremely fun. So if you see that call line, I'm going to ask, do you believe all will and bow happen in different scenes? That's a good question. Yes or no? Okay. Yeah. Okay, Amber. Yeah, you saw something. Yeah. Let's go back.
You may have covered this before, but there's a scene where it's nighttime and it looks like buildings. It's in the video.
Yeah. You're talking. I had the same. Are you talking about this right here or no?
This is
keep going.
This is very curious.
Well,
This is very curious. This shot.
This here. Are we thinking this is Tarvalin? And if so, is it a harbor?
This is definitely North Harbor. Yes.
But
This does feel like a close up of the scene that we get from the trailer.
Right. Have you talked about this a little bit?
The actual what's going to happen there? Is that what you're saying?
Right.
From the trailer itself? No, you can bring up what you think that this references and why they're bringing us back to the screenshot by the scene and why they reference this. No, yeah, go ahead.
Well, we're getting a lot of Liandrin, it looks like, which I'm totally excited for, pumped. If this is Tarvalin, and if this is a harbor, this could possibly be North Harbor, and we could possibly get an answer to who the man at North Harbor is.
Yeah, so tell me I have a theory. Tell me yours.
Well, I don't want to be too spoilery.
Does it go past like mid book? Okay, so let me do this. I saw this in chat. For the last half an hour, for people that call in, if anyone calls in, we'll go full spoilers. Hopefully those have listened in and you've avoided chat. Chat's been full spoilers. We won't. So from here on out, we're going to spoil things that go through the end of the books. It could be major things. So just don't expect that you're not going to hear any spoilers. Hopefully you've enjoyed the breakdown from here, what we've gotten to so far. This is a great time. I'm just doing this like really dramatically to say, now, hopefully you heard this, please leave, because we're going to be talking full spoilers from this point out. So go ahead, and I think you're now safe. Okay. They've been warned. So let me throw up this too for anyone that full book spoilers here. Thank you, Dana Liu. I saw that in chat. Full book spoilers. So if you're just like looking over and you didn't hear that, you now know. Hopefully you've seen this. Full book spoilers. Go for it.
I think it could be any multitude of dark friends or Forsaken, anyone in that category. But there's also a theory that I've seen where it's like maybe she has a lover, and maybe this is something that would get her in trouble with the Red Aja if she's trying to orchestrate this coup in the White Tower or be a part of it, because it kind of feels like that's what they've talked about a lot in season 1.
Okay.
If the Red Aja found out that she's with a man, they might not be thrilled about that, and she could lose like whatever type of political footing that she has.
Yeah, so I've heard that one. I love the idea though that is this the beginnings? Is she leading is she from the other side, right, leading the charge towards basically taking down the Amyrlin? And so is she beginning to meet with, we think like, oh, it's a dark friend, it's someone else, but I wonder if it's other Aes Sedai who agree with her. And whether or not, maybe this is not necessarily a Black Aja meeting, but it's just like, it's a subversive meeting when it comes to Swan and Moraine and the Dragon Reborn and those type of things. And she's bringing her case that she thinks that they've done, that she's been investigating this. And so this could be, like, I hadn't thought about that. It's like more subversive Aes Sedai meeting versus like she has somebody hidden there, or it's Pat and Fane. Like those are typical of the two that I'd heard. Rita, do you have Do you like either of those three things, or do you have like a fourth idea of what or who might be there?
I'm pretty sure it's Pat and Fane.
Okay.
I think that's why Moraine threatened her. I think Moraine thinks that he's a lover, but he's not, and Moraine has no idea, and she really thought she did something with that scene. But Liandrin absolutely like panicked but not for the reasons Moraine thought so. For the reasons being that it's Pat and Fane, and oh God, does Moraine know who Pat and Fane is? And I'm saying this also because there's a still in the trailer, quick shot of Liandrin like doing this, and there's behind her the I don't remember the name right now of the thing the Pat and Fane rides on.
The wagon.
Drives. Wagon. Sorry, and I definitely think it's Pat and Fane's wagon. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, so you think that they're actually nodding that it's definitely because Koala just said Moraine says man. I guess it definitely could be a direct relation to this thing's relationship to what Moraine was saying. I just think that if this is where she kind of has her, things she's hiding, this would be the place that others would meet with her in that same way. So that's why I was like,
I really don't think it's a lover. So I don't think it's a male lover because she absolutely like despises like men.
Sure, but then there's but maybe one. Do you
believe that your loins?
do you gird your loins? Yeah. What if it's boars?
I don't know.
What if it's boars? That's a fun one.
Or any of the people at this Shadow Pal party. I mean, it could be any of those people that are there.
What if it's her Seanchan connection? Okay. So yeah, let's ask this one. Do you believe all will and bow happen in different scenes? About 170 have voted on this one. Also another split decision. Like people are kind of back and forth on this question. Let me ask this one, who is Liandrin? We'll come back to this one because now it's relevant. It was relevant at the time, but it's been a couple years, at least more than a year since we, who is Liandrin meeting in North Harbor? Pat and Fane, Seanchan connection, a lover. I'm going to say a lover or child, maybe. And is there a fourth option here? Of just like
relative,
other dark friends, others. We'll just say others. How about that? Sorry, I'm trying to see if anyone texted me anything. New news, anyone? Are you guys all watching out there? Anything else dropped?
Steve will finally meet
Steve. Yes,
Steve
I
is
love
the man.
I think it was. I think it was. Bane and Chiat who said, Steve is. It's Steve's cabin. Steve's cabin is where Rand was in Steve's cabin. I think is like my favorite.
Love your Steve.
It's my favorite convergence of absurdity. I love it. So I'm gonna. I didn't put boars. That's what I meant to. Sorry. Other. If you think boars was a great idea, pick other. There you go. That would have been a fun one to put in there. The one that when you brought this up, Amber, that I was most interested in was we kind of wondered if he was in a cave. So these rocks, by the way, look a lot like the same kind of formations. Do you recall like the intro of season 1 where they had that whole scene that kind of looked like the Age of Legends, but it was like in the future, in the Third Age, and so all of the rock formations, the tall rock formations. This is what that makes me think of when I visited Prague last year. I went to one of the national parks to look for similar formations. This looks like it feels like it was shot there in that same location. And then they say, they show that that's the scene and that was from the Age of Legends. Do you think they're trying to connect this idea that he's in a place that he recognizes from the Age of Legends, that like this is supposed to kind of like be that same location or same rock formations, if you will? There's a skyscraper. Yeah, the skyscraper ruins. Is that what we're seeing here? Is he going back to one of these spots?
I like this theory because in the scene following that, he's kind of, like head tilted back, channeling, and these two weaves going around him. And he almost looks like meditative almost. And it would make sense if he's like coming to a place that he recognized where he's feeling like at peace and calm, something he knows. So yeah, Age of Legends, that could definitely be some type of old structure or something that he knows about,
Yeah, and definitely
feels at home at.
Yeah, I was thinking it was more like a cave he was walking up into, but
They do love their cave scenes in this
this
show.
definitely does not
Yeah.
feel like, okay, so maybe not a cave.
The first time I saw that, it reminded me, like, this is completely random, but it reminded me of like Stormlight Archive for some reason because of like the formations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I
No,
that's,
like, wait,
that's a fun connection.
wrong book series.
Oh yeah, so this is a good question. Inca said, "Do you have a Patreon or such? Is it really 30% of super chats go to waste? Well, to Google, but really to waste as far as trying to support creators." So yeah, we do have a tip like PayPal. There's a link in the description to PayPal. So like you can leave us a tip. So none of that will go to Google, as far as I know, other than what PayPal, the little small percentage that PayPal will take. You can do that. Any support you send to us through that link, we're going to send on to the Entertainment Community Fund to support creators, like you're saying. That was one thing I heard when the strikes happened, is like creators support creators. And that's what I felt like strongly about, was like, okay, we're creating these, we're doing these kind of being fans about live streams and such, but we can take anything that we make from that and support the strikes. So if you send us a tip, or if you send us a super chat, if you want to do a super chat comment, you can always do that also. And like I said, we'll take anything and we'll send that out. Or you can directly go and just support, if you believe in the strikes and what they're trying to accomplish. You can go support the WGA and SAG-AFTRA by donating to links that I think my mods are throwing in here, or we'll make sure I get that link. I try to put it in every video. So, but yes, great question. Great question. I think Google does take something like 30% out of those super chats. That's what I think. Someone can look it up. Maybe they've changed it. So it's a great question. As far as the question I had open right here, it is almost 200 of you voted on this. Who is Liandrin meeting in North Harbor? Padan Fane's 53%. So let's go to the Padan Fane theory, because we see Padan Fane in the Dark Friend Social. Mm-hmm. We see reference to the knife. I have a hard time believing that he hands over the knife to like Liandrin. However, maybe Padan Fane has his own desire to manipulate, has his own desire to manipulate them, and knows, and Liandrin's like gives it to Liandrin for purposes of manipulating Matt in this way. So I can see that whole dagger scene somehow, that trifecta being related to Liandrin, Padan Fane, and Matt. And so the idea that she meets Padan Fane, it's after that. Maybe Padan Fane was even instructed to give the dagger, although we all know how he felt in the books about giving up that dagger. That's the hard part I have a hard time with. I want to say it's more dream than it's reality, because I struggle. But again, they might be changing that connection that Padan Fane feels. Like I don't know.
Right. We didn't have the dagger death.
We didn't have the dagger death. They didn't really kind of give us much of Mordeth. Like they're not.
Yeah.
They haven't shown it yet, right? Although people brought up this idea that when he pulled his cowl back, that was maybe demonstrating that he could move in a way that others couldn't, that were sitting at the Dark Friend Social. Like they were held, but he could kind of break through. I love that idea, that he's empowered that way, that he has that dagger, that change that's happening is enabling him to kind of break free from some of the connections to the Dark One. However, I'm not confident I'm not confident they're going to touch Mordeth. It's annoying because I get how people feel about how the books end with this note, but again, we're full spoilers here. But I still actually do, after many years, come to really enjoy how the books end with it. I wish there had been more. I wish Sanderson had put more into that. Brandon has talked about wanting, looking back and saying, wishes that he had put more there. But in the end, I think taking that out takes something away that's interesting of being other powers other than the Dark One, right? Those things to me are interesting about the Wheel of Time. And so I'd be disappointed. Rita, do you think we're going to get the Mordeth from the books?
That's a difficult question. I really don't know, but I think maybe the dagger thing with Matt is actually going to happen. Because what if Matt's connection to the dagger is bothering Pat and Fane? Like, what if he wants Matt to, like, absolutely not be connected to the dagger so he can be even more connected to the dagger?
You're saying, what if, you're saying that maybe there's, this is purposely being done because there needs to be something more to disconnect them. That's possible. It feels a little bit convoluted. It's like, give it back to get it disconnected. No, but I see what you make an interesting point. Amber, do you have a thought? Do you think we're going to get that connection between those two entities like we get in the books? Do you think they're going to play with that? Or do you think they're going to kind of separate this out? Like, it's a knife, it's something, but they're not going to really go into maybe detail. Maybe later seasons if they decide to, but they're going to still hold on to it like it's not the book version of it.
They have so many plots to do. I could see that getting kind of pushed aside, and that pains me because when I was thinking about cold opens or origin episodes that would really like check a box for me, one would be the More Death connection, or just like a flashback to the whole Arid Hall situation, because I mean the story, the Wheel of Time is dark. Like there's some dark elements here. And if you put something like that in there, I think new viewers and people who don't know the books would be like, whoa, like they went dark with that. Okay.
Yep.
But Fane is one of those characters that, I mean, he's great for that reason. This hound for the Dark One, his brain has been distilled, or his soul has been distilled, or whatever it is. Like, he's a very compelling character. And Johann Meyer, like, he's a scene stealer.
Yeah,
so
Meyer,
I would give it to him.
Myers is good. Absolutely. Good. But I'm going to end this. Over 200 of you have voted on this. Thank you for all hanging around and sticking around. This has been a blast. Over 200 voted, and who is Liandrin meeting in North Harbor? 53% said Pat and Fane. I want to cover something that is not related to the stream, but we're related to next Wednesday stream. It will be 4 years here at the Dusty Wheel on Monday, August 14th. We will not choose. I don't think we're going to choose Monday to celebrate it. We're going to celebrate that on Wednesday. We have WoTWednesday. We have to do the WoTWednesday celebration of our 4th anniversary. I may or may not have something that I want to share with you all there. So that is to say, show up. I think you'll like what we may or may not drop that day. So I'll be coy until we get closer. So yes, 4th anniversary. Next Wednesday, I hope you'll all join us live. We will still probably do, if they drop, if the Wheel of Time drops something, we'll probably still do an afternoon or a morning kind of live stream. But that night, it will be all about celebrating the fact that we're still doing this 4 years later, and you all are insane for still following us, and we really appreciate it. And so hopefully, I will be maybe giving you back something. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. So with that being said, I want to watch the trailer now, because I feel like these little things we've gotten, the Dark Friend Social, these mini teasers, I think it's worthwhile to kind of go back and see some of these other scenes that we saw from the trailer. And I'll probably stop it right around that dagger scene, because I want to kind of focus on the dagger scene. And then we'll step away from that, have probably another 10 minutes in the show, and I'll have to let you all go so I can end this thing out and get back to work here shortly. So let's watch the trailer. It's been a while. How long has it been? A day? 2? Here we go.
Everyone has a choice. And every choice has a consequence. I'm bigger than my body. We didn't defeat the Dark One. We set him free. I'm meaner than my demons. No one should have that much power. I'm bigger than these Together we face the impossible. But now in our separate corners of the world.
I mean, let's mention this, right? So this is what everyone's talking about. The cabin in the woods.
Goddamn cabin.
Is this a cabin in the woods scene right here? Are they in the woods in a cabin?
What I was talking about.
I think it's a possibility.
Cabin Cabin in the Woods. That's
I
a good
think
reference.
It's the cabin, and that's hair on our head.
That is
Have to
hair.
drop that.
Thank you much. We're gonna ask that question. If you don't understand this, team hair. If you don't understand the question, pick team hair. That's basically what you should do.
Exactly. It's hair.
That's I think. By the way, Taviran Tavern just forgot to go back to the comment. So here we go. We'll ask this question. Let me go. I might have to. I don't want to lose. I think I might have lost. Hopefully I didn't lose it. That's right there. Okay. Yeah, we will get back to that question here shortly. Let's continue watching this. I may stop and go a little bit as we see things. But yeah, this is a good question. Is this the cab? Is this related to a cabin scene?
Protecting Rand, guiding him, that is the only thing that matters. You can't control him.
Now we have a better gauge of what's going to happen there.
Something inside you. Something that calls for blood.
There it is. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it makes more sense for me for this to be a dream scene.
He's struggling.
But
He's really struggling.
But Liandrin, Liandrin meeting with potentially Pat and Fane, maybe.
Oh my God, these shots. Oh God.
And this is that whole like question: is this related? To the channeling.
Yeah, where? I don't know where they are. Like,
this looks like a cabin.
So yeah, that's a good point.
This looks like a cabin.
Okay, yeah. That's a good point. This you might have me a cabin outside of Foregate versus cabin in Foregate.
How many cabins are there?
And then
Cabin gate.
This is a good question. Pat and Fane, Foregate, Dagger. What's happening here? Really, really good questions. So I don't want to lose Taviran Tavern's question here. Said, is the You Will Bow scene connected to the Uno scene where he is knelt? Also, Moraine might think she is meeting one of her eyes and ears. Yeah, I think those are two good points. And thank you very much for the question there. The whole like split, like all will bow. I mean, not that it's impossible that she says it twice, but the bowing, I think, definitely should relate to Uno because he's, basically he being knelt. I could see that somehow being related, but I could see the bow being related to actually Egwene and that too. Although
You will bow or all will bow?
Is it all will? Yeah, because it says all will, right? Are they ready? Are they ready? Feels like that has to be related to Egwene, right?
Yeah.
And Shamael answers her. He answers her. They have to be, or I don't know.
But maybe not. Maybe they're talking generally about like the return, right?
Yeah.
Because that's how the Seanchan are like, yeah, this is what we're returning. We're taking back what was ours. Like, are they ready?
Are they ready
for me?
Better be.
I like that idea a lot. Okay. I saw this comment, an appreciation comment out for my wife, which I think is a relevant one to post. Andrew, thanks to the Innkeeper's wife for allowing Matt to do the Dusty Wheel. That's true. As in like any relationship, you're going and like loving time and spending it on your hobbies. That's definitely allow versus like I think my wife is excited that this is something that I'm so passionate about and love, and has always been very supportive of it. So let me end Team Hood and Hair. That one did not get as many votes. I'm not surprised. I'm sure people out there are like, what? But Team Hair definitively has won it, everyone. But there's still 24% of you that are deluded by the...
Really
Amber, have I ever asked you this question? Are you Team Hair or Hood? I can't remember.
It's... Well, okay. I don't think it's Natasha O'Keefe's real hair. So
sure.
A wig. But do we say is a wig to a hood or is wig?
No,
hair?
wig is hair. Wig is hair.
Okay, then hair.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's a good question. I love this one. Ninja Librarian. All will bow to celebrate the 4th anniversary of the Dusty Wheel. Yeah, that is. But yes, next Monday, Manfear. That is incorrect. That is not happening. But nice try. Nice try as always. Is there anything else in this trailer that we did not cover? Not that we'll have time to really focus on it. Is there anything else in this like teaser, I guess, that we really didn't focus on? That was such a big scene.
Yeah, it was. I feel like Ishamael might be freeing Lanfear in that whole building thing.
Agreed.
With the Age of Legends nods to it, perhaps.
Agreed. The seals breaking, that type of situation.
Yeah.
Someone pointed out.
It has to happen.
Well, this is the strongest lieutenant free. Didn't they change the wording on? Anyways, I thought there was.
They did. They keep changing it back. They keep like messing with it. Like now is the Dark One. Now is Ishamael. Now is Dark One again. Like no.
Yeah, I swear they'll have to be, won't they?
Look at that tie.
He's definitely looking. He's definitely looking at something. Oh, man, that is a scene where I want to be able to. I don't think I'm going to have a high enough resolution, but I want to zoom into his eyes. His eyes are giving us something. There's something he's staring at. He's staring away from Lady Suroth towards something, and I'd like to see what that is. But we would need a higher resolution. Uno, we still don't know your fate. They keep on making us kind of question this. That is,
he's gonna live because I say so. He has to live.
This hurts me.
Is this just doing this scene? I mean, remember the Marcus scene from like behind the scenes or sneak peek. He's even more kind of like emotional. Like it suggests.
Oh
God. See them kind of moving.
Yeah.
Kind of jostling here.
It looks like they're all very unsettled. Like they just saw something terrible go down.
Right. And there's definitely, and it could just be that they throw him on his knees and they're really worried about what that means. That does seem like Massima there.
They're about to unleash the Torm or the Wild Grom.
Right. There's going to be some close-ups
I truly hope he doesn't die.
Whoever's sitting next to him is jacked.
Yeah. Isn't it Massima?
Is that Massima? Dang. Okay.
I think he is.
Yeah, Loyal is.
I think this all hinges on the question, would Uno swear the oaths or not? Like
I
mean, this has got to be that.
He will
moment,
never
right?
do it.
It's got to be that moment.
He will never do it.
Okay, so that'll be our final question to everyone. That'll be our final question. Will Uno swear the oaths? Yes or no? That's our final question in chat today. Okay, everyone, I have to get back to it. We've done about 2 hours. I got to get back to work. It was fun that it just dropped. I was already prepping the show, and I was like, let's just do this. I mean, there's people in chat talking. Let's just discover it live. These are some. I say this often. Often it's not like the season that I love the most. It's all of the build up to the season. It's the talking with fans. It's dissecting, talking about how they might adapt certain scenes, the things we think are important, the things we think they better happen, the things we're annoyed that did happen or did not happen. This always continues to be a lot of fun. Thank you both. Amber, do you want to tell people where they can follow you, where they can, I know you love talking about the Wheel of Time. Maybe tell people about what it is that you're into with the Wheel of Time and how they can kind of follow that.
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel and also a podcast. If you would like to check out the YouTube channel, yesterday I just dropped an interview with the Wheel of Time's language coordinator.
I can't believe, by the way, I can't believe that I have to go to work right now and we can't talk about that. It's very annoying because I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, I saw it, I shared it, but I have not been able to. I was like, I need time and I can't just.
Yeah,
let me see if I can find that link. Here
for all the brown Aja out there.
Okay, so I'm gonna. Do you mind if I play like the first?
Go for
10 seconds. 10 seconds here.
Rafe hinted recently that the Seanchan will have influences, something similar to the American Southern accent. And do you think the world is ready for Southern American influence in a fantasy show, in a fantasy language?
Love it. That's a great intro. Okay, so
thanks.
There it is. The link should be here. You should go. I think there's a link there. I'll try to get in the description after this. Yeah, if you want to, that is it's almost an hour long. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so
yeah,
there's so many questions and so much. I'll probably have all sorts of questions coming out of that one. I love when people do interviews like that, because I love if I ever have the chance to have an interview to take their questions and like build on that. So I can't wait to see what you've asked, and then like where as a fandom we can build on understanding more about how the dialect and how the kind of what they did with the old tongue, etc. So
yeah, if people have questions, leave them in the comments, and maybe we'll have a second interview at some point. So hopefully,
awesome.
Fingers crossed.
Okay, so yeah, go make some comments on Road to Tarvalon. That's awesome they had a chance to have that interview. And for you, Rita, where would you like people to be following you? We've met through Twitter of Time, and Maiden of the Spear. If you'd like to follow Maiden of the Spear, you can go on Twitter and follow all the conversations that we continue to have about the Wheel of Time.
Yes.
Thank you both for just jumping in and doing this today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And,
yeah.
What a blast. It's fun
you.
Again, I enjoy this. I enjoy talking about, and always have, about the books. I hope you will all, if you're hearing this, take an opportunity to come see us next Wednesday and celebrate our 4th anniversary with us, like I said. And I hope to share something with you. So it should be a blast. And thank you for all sticking around for the last 2 hours. I think that's it. Do we have any final comments you want to make before we let all these people get back to work?
Until next Wednesday, I guess.
Until next Wednesday. That's right.
Until next Wednesday.
We will more than likely be back tonight with our regularly scheduled time at 9 p.m. Eastern. Look for the link for that. If for some reason not, we'll make a comment on social media, but we typically do 2 shows every Wednesday. So this has been a blast. Loved all your comments. Thank you very much. And until next time, as they say around here, good afternoon from the Dusty Wheel. Or is it good morning? I guess for me, it's good morning from the Dusty Wheel. And smash to black.
Welcome to the Dusty Wheel.
Hey, welcome back to the Dusty Wheel.
You went right to kill it. Look at you. You're already. You're just done. I mean, this is like this is
really well. And now I'm like, great, my turn.
And if you don't like that, and you want to say, well, Robert Jordan could have made the 2 rivers all white. He could have, but he didn't.
Okay. Just complimented me on my dress, and as you can clearly see, I'm
sad. I see Nakomi as something along the lines of a Shada Haran analog.
It does make sense why it outlasted the breaking.
Yeah.
See, this is why I have Therese in the show, because she's going to correct everything that.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Dusty Wheel Show. What? Meme Off Challenge! Yay!
Harold's like baby face mounted on like a huge body. So like all of a sudden,
this is not just
like,
a traditional fantasy, right? There are sci-fi elements. And just a moment ago, Rafe tweeted something. So let me get my guests in here with me, and probably I would say put in 70-80% of the work. I got to be over the shoulder and be like, no,